Hello, this is Revenue Uncut, episode 46. My name is Konstantinos Troudjous, and today I will be hosting Bruno Saragat, product specialist at ReviewPro from Shiji Group. Bruno, welcome to
Nice
Revenue
to meet
Uncut.
you. Thank you. Thanks for having me, and nice to
Great
meet
to
you.
having you.
And thanks for having Shiji ReviewPro with you.
Today we will have the opportunity to talk about reputation management, and you will have also the opportunity to discuss about the business model of CG Group, the CG platform, obviously, and
Definitely.
we're definitely gonna cover a lot about the reputation management tool. Would like you to introduce yourself, talk us about your background and
Sure.
your role in the group.
My background is a bit strange, I would say, because I have a PhD in biology biochemistry. So I
Mhm.
studied genetics and experimental biology, and then I started working in the hotel industry as CRM manager and then revenue manager. So I think I know a bit of both worlds. I would say so.
That's fantastic. And you got involved with obviously with hospitality, with travel tech. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
How did you decide to get on board in the travel tech industry?
Well, I think it was because of honestly, me and my girlfriend wanted to leave, we try and live in Sardinia, so we
Mhm.
decided to kind of change what we were working on back then, and so we tried. It was an interesting change, a completely different environment, completely different industry, but it was nice to try, and then I'm still here, so still enjoying the hotel tech industry, definitely.
So you left Italy for Spain.
And then I left Italy for Spain, but just in 2021. So
Mhm.
after having started in Sardinia, then I went here in Barcelona and joined CG Review Pro in Barcelona. Yes.
Fantastic. So uh, initially, the first thing I would like to discuss is about reputation management and the guest feedback.
Sure.
Obviously, this is one of the topics that we never covered
Yeah.
before in Revenue Uncut. What's the importance of online reputation in hospitality industry?
Well, I would say it is a growing importance. It is acquiring a growing importance because of the fact that now the OTAs have such a huge relevance in terms of billboard effect. Whether you're gonna kind of buy a room directly with the hotel, whether you're gonna use any other channel, but surely you're gonna use like either booking.com or the TripAdvisor to try and understand if there is value for money. And if there is value for money, there is any competitor that is gonna offer something better for the same price. So in that case, I would say it is super relevant to have a good online reputation to show that you care as a OTDA about any kind of feedback, whether the feedback is positive or negative, and then try and maximize the conversion rate in case you have a very nice online reputation, because then you effectively are exploiting the value for money. The value for money ratio is there, and you can ask even for more money given the high reputation that you have. So it is crucial to be able to maximize that effect, and also to be able to be on top of all the different channels where your rooms are sold on. And you can only take care of that by using tools that allow you to kind of have everything at a glance before your eyes, in order to understand whether you are losing ground on one of these channels, or you need to do something even more in order to maximize the revenue stream on another channel. Oh, I cannot hear you. You're on mute. Oh, now I
Apologies
can.
for that. From your experience, what do you think about guests before before booking their uh, their hotel and their travel? How many platforms do you think that they switch? How many reviews do you think that they are reading before they take their
Well,
decision?
there are statistics around that, and usually we know that for certain they look at platforms like Booking.com, TripAdvisor, probably if the booking window is very short, so they are already in the location where they want to move around, probably Google as well. So surely there are 3, 4 key players that play a part in this kind of decision-making process. And of course, given the sheer relevance of Booking.com, at least in Europe, surely Booking.com is one of these. The fact that you have a huge number of reviews on TripAdvisor also is something that they surely want to look at. And then Google, probably, yes. These are the 3 main players.
Bruno, between them, we have obviously Booking or probably Expedia, but
Yes,
we have reviews um, that those reviews are already true. They're not fake, and we know that
absolutely.
from fact because guests, in order to write a review, they need to stay in advance, and then they get the email
Yeah.
in order to write the
Yes.
review. But this is not happening with metasearch tools. In
I,
our level, between you and me, other hoteliers, this is
yes.
important. But is this affecting the traveler? Do they understand the difference between them?
This is a very good question. So we know for certain that Google has taken action in order to delete fake reviews because this was becoming a growing issue,
Mhm.
not just in Europe, but probably in Latin America as well, and in Asia, I would say. So surely they have been getting some feedback around the fact that the huge volume of positive reviews without any comment were affecting guest experience. Um, to which degree users are effectively in the known about Google and the proportion of fake reviews that may be there, I am not totally sure. I would say that Google allows for to post a review even if you're not being staying in the hotel. So the users know that, and this is why probably I would say they sort of trust TripAdvisor and Booking.com more,
Yeah,
and then
I,
they
I
look
believe
at
so.
probably this is
I
the
believe
kind
that
of
they
pecking
still
order that they
they read
follow.
all the platforms.
Definitely, yes, I would say so, definitely. So they kind of know that if they need it, they need to understand if there is value for money. The go-to places are Booking.com, TripAdvisor, Expedia, as you said, and probably Google is around there, but it's not in the first place, definitely.
Agree. Uh, how hotels can use the feedback to identify the areas of improvement? Firstly, because I think we have to do two things here. One is how we will identify the improvements to be done,
Mhm.
how we are going to enhance the guest experience.
Definitely, yes.
And I think that the second thing is uh, to manage the reputation.
So I take the example of what we usually suggest our client that our client should do. But the first thing is to look at the overall performance. So we allow them to do so through by means of our GRI. So a score that is combining more than 100 different sources. So we kind of tell them, try and look at that on a daily basis in order to understand, given the sensitivity of the tool, what
Mhm.
is changing based on your occupancy rate, based on the fact that you have your operatives that are under pressure. The second thing, try and understand why the changes that you see are happening. And you can do this by looking at department score, so by looking at semantics, by looking at kind of a granular data that we offer in the tool. The third thing is, of course, even if you are performing very well, try and look at what we offer in terms of competitors analysis. Because
Mhm.
though you may think that your performance is really good, you may have food for thought if you look at what the others are doing. And maybe you discover that the same hotel type is doing a lot better than you. And so there is a kind of idea that you can pull, kind of procedure that you can try and enforce to improve even further, even though you didn't think that that was the case in the first place. So these three pillars are the things that we always suggest them to try and look at on a daily basis, and then make sense of the data and understand how to improve and how much to kind of put effort on, or stepping into the department and say we can do even better.
That's definitely one aspect, and I will add up another one, because it's not only important to understand where we're going to improve, but it is also equally important to understand what we're doing well. For example, I remember a couple of years ago, we had a fantastic a key player, a yogi. She was every day literally spiking on the reviews. So we understood that we
Definitely,
need
yes,
to
yes.
capitalize on that. We need to capitalize on
Absolutely,
the
absolutely.
experience of yoga. We never thought about it.
Yeah, that's definitely a point. Understanding what is working well in order to reinforce, in order to beef up the staff in case you know that this is a strong point of yours, is something that the tool is enabling you to do by giving you the feedback that is something that is adding to the guest experience, and the guests are talking positively about that. Absolutely, absolutely.
Mhm. Can you talk us a little bit more about the platform? I mean, let's take it from the beginning. So I'm a hotelier. I come to you.
Yeah.
How difficult is to set it up and move forward with it from
Well,
A to Z?
it depends on what we are talking about. So if we are talking about the kind of reputation, online reputation platform, given that we have a tool that combines review management with survey management, with case management, and then with messaging and other parts. So we are combining four main tools into one, but also they are flexible, so you can decide whether you want to use just one or use all of them. Reputation management can be set up and go live in 5 days, so it's very quick. In terms of survey management, probably is going to take between 1 and 2 weeks, because you need to set up your surveys, you need to try and test it, and then you start kind of getting the data in order to do the send out. When it comes to auto case management, you have to create the rules in order to convey the message that the guests are saying. I have an issue in my room. I have an issue in the breakfast, and I want you to know that. Probably this is going to take 1 week, around 1 week, and then messaging is immediate, because messaging, you just give us the channels that you are getting communication from your guests, and then we can set it up in just 5 days. It's very easy to do the setup, and then you start getting feedback, start getting data. This is what we allow you to do. Usually, our client, starts with the reputation management, which is the first and most relevant issue that they have. Then they try and implement surveys, because they understand that the guest journey is also kind of a complementary part of the reputation. Is something that you proactively ask your guest. Let's say usually you don't see many feedback relative to children experience. So it is something that you may want to proactively ask in the survey. Tell us, if we have services for your children, how did your children experience that? Were they happy with that? Can we improve on anything? It's something that you should usually have to proactively ask them. And so the combination of reviews and survey allows our clients to understand the whole of the guest journey. Okay. And then you want to try and convey the message that something is not working through a case management. Okay. And so you add that bit.
That's fantastic. And talk us a little bit about integrations, how difficult it is, how you work hand in hand with the PMSs.
So our CG environment has its own PMS. Okay. And so we are integrated.
The Shiji platform, you have
as
your own PMS.
Exactly. We have our own PMS, and so we are able to pull all the information relative to the guest feedback into the PMS, so that if any operatives, any front office user is looking into my profile, they know already whether I have been a client, what did I say for a previous stay or a stay in another hotel of the same property, the same group. And so they know exactly what to expect and how to prevent the same frustration from being experienced a second time, because I already know prior to arrival, the Bruno Saragat has certain expectation from the stay. But usually we allow for a vast number of integration with the most important, relevant players in the market. And if not, we usually get the data through an SFTP connection, so a secure transfer protocol connection that allows us to pull all the relevant information from the reservation mask of the reservation holder, turn that into a unique URL tailored to the experience that the reservation holder had, and then we create that unique URL and do the send out on the behalf of our clients. And
in order to do the survey.
In order to do the survey, exactly, yes.
Fantastic. Paperless, quick and efficient. That's good.
Exactly. Paperless, quick and effective. It allows you to maximize the amount of feedback that you get, allows our clients to communicate not just through emails, but also through SMS and WhatsApp if they want, considering that WhatsApp and SMS usually have an open rate of 90-95%. You are maximizing the ability to reach out to any kind of guest types and get more feedback, not just from the leisure guests probably, but also from any other type of guest that you want to get information from in order to understand, am I catering well to the guest needs? And that is something crucial in order to understand how to improve even further.
And don't forget the time that a concierge or someone from the admin needs to all those data in spreadsheets and extract the results, and if it is
exactly.
That's great.
Absolutely.
Talking about analytics and insight, how is the tool ReviewPro? How is helping the hotelier in order to gain valuable insights from guest data?
So the tool has a specific level of data granularity. So it allows our clients to get to the nitty-gritty of what is going on. So we take them from the general to the specific in order for them to have all the relevant information that they need to take action to decide what needs to be done. We allow them to delve into the data progressively, going from general, like widgets around what the country, guest country is performing, and then we delve into data and we go to the level of semantic mentions and individual reviews. So they have a clear understanding of not just what's going on, but who is complaining about what, and at which rate they are complaining about. And that gives them the ability to turn this information into actionable insights, so they know what to do. And given the sensitiveness of the tool, they also understand whether the procedure they have been implementing afterwards is effective in cracking the problem or not. And so if not, what other changes in the procedure they need to take in order to solve the problem. And when they solve the problem, they will see the issue disappearing from the semantic, for instance. Okay, so they know immediately that they have done the right thing.
Now, you mentioned earlier the competition, and this process, can you compare with the competition? I mean, can you compare advantages and disadvantages with my competitive set?
Yeah, absolutely. You can get to the level where you can read your competitors' reviews. So we slice and dice the data into departments, for instance, so you can compare each individual department and say, well, I am underperforming here. What is going on? What is that the others are doing better than me? So if I have 10 competitors that I am 9 out of 10 in terms of performance, what is that is not working? So I can look at the best performance of my competitors. I can read their reviews, as many clients of ours have done, and maybe they understand that it is a small thing that is making a huge difference. They say, oh, this is a nice solution to the problem that we have. They try and implement that, and they can get better themselves. So we allow them to understand everything that they need in order to turn things around and improve their performance accordingly.
Fantastic. That's great. Great tool. I mean, obviously it gives you valuable information.
Absolutely. I am a former ReviewPro client, so I have experience in that myself, and I can tell you that in the course of 6 months, it kind of changed everything for us, because we were implementing this in a huge resort in Sardinia, and given the sheer scale of the resort, it was a bit difficult for us to have a clear understanding of not just the big problems, but the medium and small problems. As soon as we implemented ReviewPro, we had a clear picture of everything that was going on. And so we can cater to all the needs that we have, because we can look at them and slicing and dicing and say, oh, well, this needs attention. This deserves attention.
Correct.
And then we saw the benefits of having this tool, definitely.
I didn't know that you've been working as a hotelier, so this gives me the chance to ask you about strategies for responding to guest reviews, either positive or negative.
Yeah. Well, responding to guest reviews is an integral part of any strategy that you may want to implement. Why is that? Because for any prospect that is looking at the reviews of your hotel, they understand the level of commitment that you have by the answers that you give, and in which time you are replying. So which is the time frame that you're using? If I am replying in 6 months, of course, maybe I don't care that much. But if I am replying in 2 days, in 24 hours, now then I am really showing to anyone who might not be convinced that there is value for money for my property, that I am really committed, that I am taking action, that I am explaining what is going on, that I am explaining that I am taking action in order for that problem not to come out again a second time for any new guest. So that is crucial in order to get to a better conversion rate. Okay. And time is of the essence. So in this case, we are also enabling the artificial intelligence to help you provide a kind of response to that you can approve and then post online in order to maximize the time that you have and the operative time that you are using in order to get to the point where your answers are on time and they are appropriate, and also they show commitment towards your guests. So it is crucial. The response phase, whether it is neutral reviews that we're talking about, whether it is positive, or even more important, negative reviews, is absolutely crucial in order to get the best revenue stream that you can get from that channel. Absolutely.
I will grab the chance. Guests not only will feel that you are taking actions, that you read the reviews, and obviously you do things in order to improve, but the quicker you respond, they will get the message that while they're in-house, if something comes up, someone will be there in order to take action.
Absolutely. Yes, definitely.
And one more thing that I want to add up from my experience, responding to guests, it's not about responding the exact guest, but it's also talking to others and responding to other guests, because the good thing is that at the end of the day, the last response, the last message is from the hotelier, not from the guest.
Exactly. And if we leave any negative feedback unanswered, we are not providing our version of how things have gone. So they may think that what the guests have been saying, it is either not interesting for the hotel, second, it might be true. So they see a decreasing value for money. They may think like, I'm going to go for the same price to another property that has a better online management, or are a better kind of overall guest satisfaction shown by the reviews. And that is something that at the end of the day, it is really damaging your conversion rate.
100%. Bruno, you mentioned AI, and this is surely a topic that we need to discuss. Before that, I would like from you to make us a quick presentation about CG platform. What other tools? You mentioned PMS. You mentioned the reputation tool. What else is on the platform?
So Shiji ReviewPro is part of a bigger ecosystem of products. We are trying and build an ecosystem that is kind of all-encompassing. Everything that an hotelier may need in terms of tech stack is going to be there. Whether it is something that you use like Ice Portal to publish photos of your hotel and kind of update all the different channels in just one go, whether it is, again, reputation with Shiji ReviewPro and PMS, of course. The PMS is the core of our ecosystem, but we are building the entire PMS on a different premise. Because normally a PMS revolves around a reservation, so the guest reservation. We are building this around the guest profile. So we are enriching the guest profile with any interaction that we are able to capture with the other two parts of the ecosystem. At the end of the day, a user will have the ability to understand everything that I have been interacting with in your hotel, my guest satisfaction, the revenue that I have generated, what kind of expectation do I have, what kind of services I use, okay, and how much I use them. So whether it is the tennis court, whether it is anything that I might know in order to try and turn this first timer into a repeater, which is super important. And then if a repeater, I already know what to expect from Bruno Saragat as a guest, because I already have the ability to read the guest profile, its guest profile, and see, this is what I am going to do in order to improve his satisfaction even further. So the PMS is kind of the confluence point of all the different tools, and it is kind of feeding this guest profile in order then to have the exact understanding of what kind of guest types do I have in-house and what kind of revenue stream they are generating. Who do I have to focus on in order to improve that revenue stream? And all the other tools, whether it is online check-in that we can offer, whether it is Dine, which is a product that is being used to kind of reserve seats on a restaurant, an internal restaurant of the hotel, is geared towards the idea that any data points can be used at the end of the day to enrich a profile, and that profile will serve as a core to understand who are the guests that I am hosting. How can I make them more satisfied? And if I make them more satisfied, I will have better online reputation. And if I have better online reputation, I will make more revenue because I can push my rates up because there is value for money. They see there is value for money. So you see that this ecosystem is working well into providing the hoteliers with all that they need, business intelligence included. We have CG analytics, we have data lake, in order to
so
parse out
you offer, sorry to interrupt. Together with the platform, are you offering a BI tool, or is it
we are offering is an add-on, but we are offering a CG analytics, which is a BI tool. We are also offering data lake. So you see that everything in terms of tech stack is there, considering that what happens usually is that you need to ask for different products to different providers. And it's kind of making them work together is really complicated. It's always a compromise, between like what I can get from different providers. We are offering a provider that has everything that you need. So there is no compromise. All the data that you have is data that you can use to understand how to improve your performance, which is a great change compared to the past.
And I think this is the way that
Absolutely.
you as travel tech companies, you need to build PMSs in order to understand whether we can
honestly, yes,
or not.
yeah. I have been on.
Sorry, maybe you mentioned or not. Is it cloud or on premise?
Is cloud, is a cloud PMS. We have huge redundancies in order to make sure there is no downtime, and we have excellent performance on that, I can tell you. And so we are providing the best possible experience to our users, because everything that they need in terms of tech stack is going to be there for them to understand how valuable is the data that they are using.
I see. Now, before we wrap it up, I would like to discuss about AI. This is important for me in order to understand how is AI affecting the guest feedback, the guest reputation management. From it's the buzzword, and now I think all the companies, they adding up an AI tool into their tool, and they say, look, we do AI, we do artificial intelligence.
Absolutely, yes.
I'm not sure how is this affecting your job, your company as
There
well.
are, I would say, at least 2 touch points that are really being affected by artificial intelligence in terms of my job, in terms of our job as Shiji ReviewPro. The first one is looking at the statistics, the average time of response to reviews. In 2022, on average in Europe, hotels were taking up to 7-8 days to reply to any reviews. Okay. Now they are taking less than 4 days. So artificial intelligence is heavily influencing this. Okay. And you have to keep up with the same pace that your competitors are having. So whether you like it or not, sooner or later, you will need to use a tool in order to speed up the process of replying. The other thing is making sense of this huge trove of data that you get. Because the more we kind of move forward in terms of technology, the more data points you have. But the approach that you get is always the same. So whether you use Excel, whether you use simple widget to understand, there is the limitation. The bottleneck is that I'm only a human and I can only parse out a certain amount of data. So artificial intelligence is heavily influencing that as well, because the huge ability of, in a second, to analyze and find a connection between different data points, in a way, is heavily improving the understanding of what the guests are saying. Which guest is saying that, when they are saying that, what kind of solution you can take. So we see that both us and our competitors are working on kind of making the artificial intelligence read this data and then provide an answer as to what I need to do, what is going on, why it is happening. So the answer to the question why I'm not improving is something that sooner or later will be taken over by artificial intelligence, and I will get the answer, the actionable insight, and I only have to share this with my operatives, step into a department and say, this is the solution that we need to implement. This is something that will happen very soon, I would say.
Fantastic. That's great. Bruno, I want to thank you. Thank you for the quick response, and thank you for being part of Revenue Uncut, and I want to wish you all the best.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
It's been a great discussion. Thank you.
Thank you.